Hey, what is up everybody? I am Jason and you're watching my channel Micro Investors. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the biggest hydrogen fuel cell stock out there. And no, I'm not talking about Nikola Motors. I'm talking about Plug Power, a stock that I've been actually talking about on this channel for a couple years now. So there isn't any reason why Plug stock has gone up recently. There's just a lot of interest into the company, into clean energy and electric vehicles, which has helped driving a lot of interest, as well as several different acquisitions this company has made over time. So we're going to just address a few different things in this video, and then towards the end of the video, I'll compare Plug Power to Nikola Motors and why Plug Power has always been the better hydrogen fuel cell stock to invest into. So as we get into this video, please, if you guys don't mind, please smash, destroy, and annihilate that like button because it does help me out with the YouTube algorithm and help spread this video to more people that might find it interesting. And also subscribe if you have not already. Now let's get into this. So now let's look at Plug stock. So today it's up about 5%, and over the week it's up about 15%. But if you look at it over the month, it really hasn't done much. It's coming back right now from a dip, but this last year, Plug stock is up a whopping 375%. For those of you that don't know, Plug Power buys more liquid hydrogen than NASA. They actually buy more liquid hydrogen than anybody else in the world. They are the largest buyer of liquid hydrogen, and they have deployed more than 35,000 fuel cell units. And they have also built more hydrogen refueling stations than anybody else in the world. Plug has grown its revenue 160% over the last 2 years. Currently, the main revenue source for Plug Power is its forklift fuel cells, which have been growing in demand, especially with a much larger increase of online orders due to the pandemic. Two of Plug's largest customers are Amazon and Walmart, so pretty much two of the biggest companies in the United States. And they don't just sell them the forklifts, they also sell them the refueling for it. Their Gen Fuel is also on site at their locations. And more than likely, anything you've probably purchased recently was probably at one time moved by a Plug Power forklift. And there's more to Plug Power than fuel cell powered forklifts and refueling. Plug's ProGen fuel cell engines provide solutions for all components of the logistics chain, from manufacturing and warehousing to middle and last mile delivery. And you're probably looking at this picture and going, hey, last mile delivery drones and vans, this is very similar to Workhorse. And believe it or not, Plug Power and Workhorse actually collaborated with a vehicle for FedEx back in 2018. Now the vehicle was made by Workhorse, but the engine itself was a hydrogen fuel cell engine built by Plug Power. Now, in an interview that Benzinga did with Andy Marsh, Plug CEO, on June 30th, 2020, Benzinga asked, "How will you supply the transportation industry?" Marsh responded, "It's probably a little known fact, but we have built more hydrogen stations than anyone else in the world. And if you were driving a Walmart truck, you could actually go from Lewiston, Maine to Santa Clara, California, stopping at hydrogen stations that we built. We obviously are ambitious when it comes to on-road vehicles." And after you finish this video, there is a link in the description to get you to this article. A lot of good information on it. And I want to make clear that Plug was founded in 1997 and still have yet to make a profit, but the company is growing their infrastructure and acquiring other companies, which is one of the reasons why they have yet to be able to turn a profit, but are very much growing their business. Plug's trailing 12-month revenue is $260 million, with a quarterly revenue growth of 18.3% year over year. But the trailing 12-month net income is negative $82.6 million. Now, on their balance sheet, their most recent quarter reported $152.5 million in cash, with a total debt of $653.83 million. In an article from H2View published September 1st, Plug Power said it delivered a 25 kilowatt Gen Fuel electrolyzer to Nagasaki, Japan, representing the first fruits of its vertical acquisition strategy in Asia and promoting the development of a scalable renewable hydrogen economy. Its entry into the Japanese green hydrogen market comes just 2 months after its acquisition of Ginner ELX, a Massachusetts-based company that makes electrolyzer devices that split water into hydrogen and oxygen. So there's a couple things to take away from this. One being that Plug isn't just producing its own hydrogen, they are also manufacturing the machine that splits the water into hydrogen and oxygen, the electrolyzer. And the other thing is that Plug is now in the Japanese fuel cell market. And if you didn't know this, that Japan is a really big market for hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. Now, for those of you that don't know, Japanese automakers like Honda and Toyota are making hydrogen fuel cell vehicles already, and they've actually been doing it for some time now, and that is a growing market there. Now, some of Toyota's hydrogen fuel cell vehicles have made it here in the United States, but the infrastructure is not big enough for the regular consumer to just go buy one and be able to refuel their vehicle. Now, I only know one pump in my city that is a hydrogen pump at a Shell station, and that is not big enough for mass production here in the United States. Now, we think about Nikola Motors, who is in the hydrogen fuel cell business as well. They have yet to make an infrastructure and have yet to have a product available for sale, yet Plug Power does have an infrastructure and a product available for sale, yet their market cap is much lower than Nikola Motors. And if we compare the performance of these two stocks over the last 3 months, we'll see that Nikola is down nearly 50%, while Plug Power is up over 140%. So Plug is one of those companies that just invest everything back into it to continue to grow it to reach the ultimate goal. I compare them a lot to how Amazon did it, where Amazon didn't care about generating any sort of profit. They started out small and just continued to build on that, much like what Plug is doing. And Plug has also, of course, caught the interest of Amazon, because Amazon's not just one of their largest customers, they're also one of their largest investors. So it's been 2 years since my first video talking about Plug Power, and I made, of course, hundreds of videos since then. But it's also been 2 years since my first investment into Plug Power, and it was just a tiny little investment of 200 shares at a price of $1.91, which I only spent $382 on. Now, to me, Plug Power is just an amazing stock. It's had amazing performance, and I've really enjoyed holding on to it. I have not purchased much of Plug recently, but of course I have bought many other tranches at different prices in the past. But I'd like to hear your guys' opinions of Plug Power. Is there anybody out there that is invested into it? I'm sure there's plenty of you guys that are. Please let me know what your opinions of it are. So like, share, comment, and subscribe. New videos coming out on my channel all the time, everybody. See you next time.